When I was a kid, my dad was watching the House of Lords on television, on the news, the evening news. And I asked him, I said, hey Dad, like, what are those funny guys in the wigs, right? Like, what is this all about? And he explained to me, well, these are the lords, right? These are the people in government whose job it is to pass some laws, do some regulations, push paperwork around and basically have the easy life. And I said to him, well, Dad, how do you become a lord? And he said, well, you can't, because he says most of these guys are from the aristocracy, right? They're born into these positions. You're born with privilege, and then eventually you end up joining the House of Lords and getting handsome amounts of money. And it gave this image to me in my mind that I believed that in order to get to the top of society, you had to be born into it. You had to be born into the aristocracy. So therefore, everything I saw in my life, I ended up developing this kind of slave mindset, this communist mindset of whenever I'd see something of value in life, whether it be a nice house or a nice car or a happy family, I started associating these things with the aristocracy, with the higher classes, right? Not with the working class, not with people like me. So throughout my life, I ended up just pushing nice things away, right? Because I'm like, well, there's these fancy people that are born into all the money. They're the aristocracy. They're the people who get all the millions of dollars or pounds from their fathers. And basically, there's no chance that I'm going to get there. If anything, it's a slim chance. It's like winning the lottery. So I started to develop this really negative view over capitalism, very negative view over the hierarchy, very negative view over the word aristocracy. But today I have a completely different understanding of this word. And I just want to give you this little nugget of information if you're new to these things here. The word aristocracy essentially means best of powers, right? So what it means originally is that the people that were most powerful would end up being at the top of society. And that's what being an aristocrat meant. It meant you deserved your place, you worked for it because you were the most powerful. So if you're the most powerful, then you become an aristocrat. And this is a completely different perspective. It's not that you're born into it, right? Maybe modern aristocrats are born into their positions. But the typical aristocrat would have likely been someone who was just a successful warrior or a successful businessman. Somebody who's actually worked their way to the top because of their power. So it's not in fear of power. It's not in denial of power. This mindset that, other people should be powerful and not me because I don't deserve it or I'm too dangerous to give power to, is a weak mindset because you're not willing to actually be responsible for your life. You're not willing to actually take life by the reins and try achieve something for other people. You're just becoming a normal person, and that's okay if you want to be a normal person. But if you don't, and you do want to become aristocratic, or you do want to embody the best of powers, then you truly have to work for it. And in order to work for it, you need to look throughout your life and think, okay, does this decision make me more powerful or less powerful? And if it makes me more powerful, then I should probably do it. If it makes me less powerful, then I shouldn't. And this mindset, this perspective, is completely different from everything being pushed now by the modern liberal and conservative narratives and modernity, basically. Let's say you hate your boss and you're in this terrible corporate job that you know you're going to get nowhere with. You have two options. Either you punch your boss in the face and get fired, or you keep working and you just sit at your desk all day and be a good boy. Now, most people pick the second one, right? Because they're smart, because they're reasonable, because they're moral, because they're all of these different things that we imprint onto ourselves as good modern values. Now, you're going to sit there maybe for 40 years. One day you're going to wake up and realize you got no resources, your wife has left you, your life sucks, you've been wasting your entire life at this desk, and you hate yourself, and you want to blow your brains out. You've wasted your life, your one opportunity of life. The other option is you be a barbarian and you punch your boss in the face and you get fired and fined and put in a jail cell for a week. You come out a week later and you think, oh shit, well, better get a new job, right? Better actually do something in my life, better satisfy my needs. And you end up going out there and actually failing for a few years, being a bit of an imbecile, but eventually getting there. And it's interesting because although you've went about in a total barbaric, idiotic way, which is, I guess, a modern perspective, calling it idiotic, we have to question, is this really idiotic? Or is this actually the smart move? Because it seems to me that lots of the aristocratic people that exist today and the future aristocrats of tomorrow are more like the people that would punch their boss in the face and go off and do their own gig compared to the people that sit at a desk for 40 years. I don't think sitting at a desk for 40 years is going to make you into an aristocrat in the next 20 years. I would rather be betting on the crazy guy that's like, hey, fuck you, I'm going to go do my own thing and I'm going to associate with people that make me feel powerful, people that I can empower, and people that believe in ideals of power and ultimately are forming new world aristocratic system. So I'm out here communicating these ideas with you in Mother Nature, kind of. I'm in a park. But I feel more aristocratic, more powerful than the people currently sitting at home doing nothing. In the same way, if you've learnt something today, which is going to make you money tomorrow, you have become more aristocratic and more powerful compared to your enemies. When it comes down to it, we like to make these things quite complicated, right? I have a Bugatti, I have this, I have that, I have a diamond. But fundamentally, when it comes down to it, it's just one guy with a bunch of rocks versus another guy with a bunch of rocks. And actually, the caveman perspective of looking at things, that's just me more powerful than you more powerful than me, this kind of basic understanding of hierarchy, is actually more sophisticated and has had millions of years of evolution to back it up, compared to some kind of neoliberal, modern agenda where it's like, oh, this is how you increase your lifestyle. This is how you get promoted at work. It's like, get lost, man. Get lost. If you like this video and you want to see more, let me know in the comments. If you feel that I'm right and you want to tell me I'm right, tell me I'm right. If you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Let me know why. Send a video response, whatever you want. I might make some more of these just because I like communicating these ideas and getting them off my head as I'm also processing them myself. It's good to verbalize stuff. It's much more social, much more alive, much more aristocratic. All right, thanks. Hit follow.